And we welcome you, Brewers baseball this afternoon, Saturday afternoon in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The roof is opened up. The rain showers have passed on by. And we're set for Game 3 of this series against the Colorado Rockies. Hi, everybody. Alongside Bill Schroeder, I'm Brian Anderson. We'll hear from Sophia Minnaert a little bit later as well. Well, the Brewers got a nice walk-off win last night, their 4th of the season, and right there in the middle of it all is the guy who has been so clutch in his time in Milwaukee, and that's Ryan Braun.
Man, there's a reason why he's an MVP and he's an all-star. He guy focuses like no other. Late in the game, it was kind of a rough start for Ryan Braun early on. A couple of strikeouts, hit a ball hard to second base, but in a situation like this, it's been a while since Ryan Braun's had a walk-off base because they don't pitch to him in those situations. And because Jonathan Lucroy is so hot behind him in the lineup, they threw him a fastball, ended the ball game. Ryan Braun comes up big once again.
And the Brewers have now beaten the Colorado Rockies 5 consecutive games here. Look at the clutch numbers for Ryan Braun. These really tell the story. 7th inning or later, a .351 batting average, 6 homers and 23 runs batted in. That RBI last night came in the 9th. It allowed the Brewers to walk off a winner. And now we're set for Game 3. First to 50 in Major League Baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers. We'll check in with Craig and Augie when we continue.
Brought to you by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite. Now in the original can. It's Miller time. By Toyota. Let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. After some heavy rain a few hours ago, it's turned out to be a terrific afternoon for baseball. Brewers and the Rockies getting closer to first pitch. Glad to have you back aboard. Last night, the Brewers were the first team to reach 50 wins on the season. They are 18 games above 500. And you take a look at what this team has already done. All you got to do is look at the important numbers, offensively, pitching, defense. It's all right there for them.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. When you talk about Matt Garza, you got to do three things. You have to do three things. First of all, you got to look at what this team has done. You look at the offensive numbers they do. They've been hitting to all fields, going and having a great approach, hitting the balls all field, hitting with runners in scoring position, very important. This ball club has been doing it all and doing it at key times of the game.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit earlier in Brewers Live pregame how that defense has really chipped in and tightened up and improved this team. Now, to get number 51 tonight, what does Matt Garza have to do for Milwaukee?
What we said before, he's got to start with pace and rhythm. He's got to have that good pace, keep the defense in the ball game. You do that by setting the tempo, commanding the strike zone with the fastball. Secondly, you got to have that good break ball. Lately, in his 5 consecutive quality starts, he's had that good breaking ball. And lastly, and most important, nothing is free. Make the other team earn their runs. Stay ahead, get ahead, and good things will happen.
This team has been shut down 4 times with him on the mound. He needs some runs tonight, and the crew wants to win their 6th straight over Colorado in the season series. It is all coming up next. Enjoy it.
Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Blue skies up above, 76 degrees here in Milwaukee. Looks like a great day for baseball. Had some serious thunderstorms coming through here just a few hours ago. They had the roof closed up to keep everything dry, but it is interesting that they've closed the roof halfway now. Try to cut down on some of those extreme shadows. Brewers go for their 6th straight win against Walt Weiss and the Colorado Rockies this year. After that thriller last night, Walt Weiss sending Jhoulys Chacín to the mound today to match up against Matt Garza. And this Rockies ball club 10 games under 500 at 35-45. Here's the lineup today for Colorado. Charlie Blackmon will lead off. He'll be followed by Drew Stubbs, then Troy Tulowitzki. In the middle of the order is Corey Dickerson, Willeen Rosario, his first start of the series. Ryan Wheeler will play first base. No Justin Morneau out there today. And then it'll be Josh Rutledge, DJ LeMahieu, and Jhoulys Chacín. Rutledge hit the home run that tied the game in the 9th inning last night. So there's Matt Garza, and Rockies trying to get back to winning ways. He hasn't had a win since June 7th.
Yeah, but he's been pitching pretty well. 6 straight quality starts for Garza. He lost to the Nationals his last time out. 3 runs, all coming on a 3-run home run to LaRoche in the 3rd inning in that start against Washington. 1-3 against the Rockies in 4 starts. Hasn't faced Colorado since way back in 2011.
That was as a member of the Chicago Cubs. The Menards Brewers defense today. Davis, Gomez, and Braun in the outfield. You've got Ramirez and Overbay on the corners with Segura and Jeanette at the keystone. And Jonathan Lucroy will do the catching behind Garza today. Dan Isonia will call the balls and strikes. C.B. Buckner, Trip Gibson, a rookie umpire, and Dale Scott, the crew chief, are the three base umpires. And we are just about ready for baseball today. All the pieces in place. Charlie Blackmon set to lead off for Colorado. The Brewers play today and tomorrow afternoon. Don't forget that's a 1:10 start tomorrow. On the air at 12:30 for the finale of the series against Colorado and the finale of the homestand. Brewers will go to Toronto and Cincinnati on the next road trip. That's been a good run for the Brewers so far. They have 2 games remaining in this stretch of 20 consecutive games. And they played well during this streak. After dropping 2 of 3 to the Nationals to start this homestand, they've won the first 2 in this series as Garza's first pitch sails high, and away we go.
Now, Garza's had good command of his breaking pitches as of late. Last 6 starts we talked about, all quality starts, 3 runs or less, 6 or more innings. He's been locating his fastball, and as usual, as we've seen from Garza this year, needs to avoid the big inning. It seems like the big inning hurts him just about every time out.
Now, Garza has been able to keep his walks down. He's only walked 3 in his last 3 starts, and that covers nearly 22 innings as Blackmon swings and fouls it back. 2-1 the count. Garza's wins have been against the Cubs, the Diamondbacks, the Twins, and his lone road win against the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's 4-5 coming in. Coming off a loss against Washington in those 7 innings. He threw 104 pitches in 7 innings against the Nationals and did strike out 7 in that game. But one big swing by LaRoche, that 3-run homer, did him in. Those are his last 3. Has pitched at least 7 innings in each of his last 3. Pitched into the 8th inning on the road against the Arizona Diamondbacks and didn't walk anybody in that game.
Yeah, having a pretty good month of June. A .238 earned run average in June and a 2-1 record. He's walked 10 batters in June. That covers 5 starts, and half of those came in 1 start against the Pirates. Walked 5 in that game. They're throwing a lot of strikes right now.
Well, it's been a tough road for the Colorado Rockies. They've lost 10 of their last 11 games. They had lost 7 in a row before beating the Cardinals earlier this week, and now they've lost 3 straight. They've had some significant losing streaks this year as Blackmon sends that one into right center, and it'll be Ryan Braun to make the call and the catch. And that's how the day begins for Matt Garza with a fly ball to right. Well, it was a thriller here last night. Ryan Braun ending the game with a walk-off single after Frankie Rodriguez had given up a home run to Josh Rutledge to tie it in the 9th. Brewers came right back and won it quickly in the bottom of the 9th, securing the 50th win of the season. First club to 50 wins in the big leagues.
Yeah, first base was open, second and third 2 outs, and I don't know many years where opposition will be pitching to Braun in those situations, but as we talked about when we came on the air, as good as Jonathan Lucroy has been in these situations with men on base, they wanted to pitch to Braun. First pitch yesterday in the 9th, Braun hit a single into center field.
That was against Matt Belisle, who took the loss for Colorado. Drew Stubbs a swing and a miss, and it's 0-2 on the Rockies 2-hole hitter. Now the Brewers now have 4 walk-offs this season. Braun with his first of the year and his first since 2011. But a lot of that has to do with what Rock just mentioned. Typically when he's up there with a chance to win a ball game, he has been intentionally walked over the last few years. So I haven't seen a whole lot of opportunities.
We're not getting much to hit. Maybe not intentionally walk him, but pitching around him a little bit.
Bouncing ball ranging over Segura. Got to hurry his throw over, and Stubbs is safe. Stubbs can fly.
Yeah, he can run.
And that's an infield hit. He had one almost just like that yesterday.
Yep, in the hole. Segura did the best he could. He planted that back foot and got off a good throw, but Stubbs just too fast. Clearly beat to the first base.
And a good call over there by C.B. Buckner. So a man on for Troy Tulowitzki. Stubbs always a threat to run as well. And now the league's leading hitter will bat with one away. .351 average to start play today. Tulowitzki was 1 for 4 yesterday. He stranded 3 base runners in yesterday's game. Kyle Lohse pitched another beauty last night. He went 7 innings and only 1 earned run. And he was tough on Tulowitzki last night. Lohse had a chance to win his 10th before that home run by Rutledge in the 9th. So a no decision for Lohse. ZRA dropping to 3.08 with that 9-2 record.
You know, in 17 starts when Lohse is out there on the mound, the Brewers record 13-4. That tells you all you need to know about the value of Kyle Lohse this year.
In year 2 of his 3-year contract, and what a find he's been for the Brewers. Now the starting rotation with so much talent, and the Brewers have been able to avoid the long losing streaks. Their longest losing streak 4 games. But one starter leading to the next. Estrada to Lohse, or to Peralta, and then Lohse, Gallardo. Giovanni gets the ball tomorrow in the finale against Jorge De La Rosa. Peralta got the win in the opener of this series on Thursday night. Two for 11 lifetime against Matt Garza. Garza hasn't faced the Rockies since 2011. He faced them 3 times that year.
Tulowitzki, a good fastball hitter. Garza relies on his fastball quite a bit, but Garza's got the better of him so far in his career. It's been a while, though, for Garza and Tulowitzki. They haven't faced each other in a while.
Matt Garza in year 1 of a 4-year contract. He's 30 years of age. Last year traded from the Cubs to the Rangers. Texas acquired him, trying to help their postseason push, and we wonder if the Brewers are going to be making some moves here. Trade deadline is about a month from now, July 31st. And the Brewers have a lot of scouts out there trying to see who could help this ball club push them over the edge. This team has played very well. There's a liner into center field. Gomez coming in, and he's got it for the out. Tulowitzki retired. So 2 gone for Matt Garza. Stubbs still at first base. And with Morneau on the bench today, getting the day off, it is Corey Dickerson in that cleanup spot.
Yeah, Dickerson with a rare offer against the Brewers last night with a couple of punch outs. Dickerson last night had a tough time with the curveball. Let's see if Garza tries to attack him with the hook tonight or today.
Now Dickerson 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts last night. He's been a good hitter against the Brewers so far this year. Had 8 hits in that 3-game series in Colorado, including 2 home runs. Dickerson comes in with a batting average of .347. Iasonia and Lucroy with a laugh after that foul ball.
Got a piece of the home plate umpire. Lucroy saying better you than me.
He says welcome to the club, man. A glancing blow across the shoulder. Easy for me to say up here. Dickerson doesn't have enough plate appearances to qualify, but he's close, and if he had enough plate appearances, he would be second in the league in hitting behind his teammate Troy Tulowitzki. 9 for 20 against the Brewers so far this season. That covers 5 games. There goes Stubbs. Lucroy's throw to second. The tag in time for the out. Stubbs is thrown out trying to steal. Lucroy cut him down in game 1 and gets him again in game 3. For 9 in stolen base attempts. Lucroy has gotten him twice in this series. Wipes him out in the first inning to end it. Now the Brewers coming up. Associated Bank batting order looks like this. Scooter Gennett will lead off. Ryan Braun, then Lucroy, and then it's Gomez, Ramirez, and Davis, followed by Overbay, Segura, and Matt Garza. And that's the batting order that will face right-hander, the only right-hander in this 4-game series with Colorado, Jhoulys Chacín.
Yeah, Chacín missed all of April with a shoulder problem. He's made 4 consecutive quality starts, but he's lost his last 2. He's pitched well, hasn't got a lot of runs. Making his 5th career start against the Brewers, no record. He's only allowed 12 earned runs in 27 innings. That's a 4.00 earned run average. And Chacín, a guy that throws all 4 pitches: fastball, curveball, slider, changeup.
Now 2 years ago, Chacín, the Rockies opening day starter. Scooter Gennett back in the starting lineup. A couple of left-handed starters on the mound to start this series, and Gennett has come off the bench. He had a pinch hit home run on Thursday night that extended the lead. Last night he pinch hit. He was intentionally walked. The last time he started a game was against Washington, and he drove in a career high 5 runs, had a grand slam, the first of his career. He has been a red hot hitter, Scooter Gennett. He's hitting at a .369 clip over his last 30 games with 4 home runs and 17 runs batted in.
And the top 10 in the National League in batting average, and showing a little bit of power as of late, but that's not his game. It's counting his favor, gets one in on him, he's able to turn on it. And he does a good job of getting on top of the baseball and shooting it into left field.
Well, and Gennett starting to put together a pretty good sample size in the major leagues that the Brewers are confident that he is going to be able to hit for a high average. Last year was his first year in the big leagues. If you mark August 5th of last season and you take it to today, Scooter Gennett has the same batting average as Troy Tulowitzki. Those are 1-2 in the National League in that time. A .330 hitter, an extended play at the major league level.
That's pretty good company right there. I mean, that tells you how good he's been. And I think one of the reasons he's been that good is because Ron Renicky has kind of protected him against some tough lefties, not putting him in a position to struggle. You got Ricky Weeks on the bench, who's done a good job against lefties. Why not use him, right? So because of the platoon, both of them have been very productive.
Well, Jeanette did hit left-handers at a reasonable rate in the minor leagues. And there will be a day when he'll be the everyday second baseman here in Milwaukee, and he'll have to hit left-handers. That day's not here yet, so maximize what you have, and that platoon with Jeanette and Weeks has been stellar this season. Ricky Weeks had a 3-hit game on Thursday night, had a leadoff home run. Last night had a hit as well, had a double and a run scored. They have both been very productive. Three balls, 2 strikes on Jeanette. And down he goes. Chacin strikes him out for the first out.
Chacin's not going to blow the ball by too many hitters. I think Jeanette was fooled by the pitch on the corner. He'll sink the fastball. He'll cut it. He'll keep you off balance with a variety of different off-speed pitches. Been very inconsistent so far this year, but starting to turn things around.
His best game of the year was against Atlanta. He went 7 shutout against the Braves. And he'll face Ryan Braun now. Gets a nice hand from this big Miller Park crowd after his walk-off single last night. Braun wasted no time last night on the first pitch he saw from Belisle. He wrapped one into center field. He hit a perfect knuckleball back up the middle, which tells you he squared it up as about as good as you can do it.
And didn't waste any time, did he? No real dramatic event right there for Braun. Didn't work the count at all. Got a fastball, banged it into center field. Wasting no time. Why not, right?
Now the Brewers have won 3 in a row now. Trying to make it 4 straight here today and keep the pressure on the rest of the Central Division. The Brewers open play today 5.5 up on the Cardinals. St. Louis won last night. They beat Los Angeles by a 3-1 final. You got the Brewers the first to 50 wins, best record in the National League, and the second best winning percentage in baseball. Only Oakland has a better winning percentage. As Braun, little soft liner into left. That's down, a base hit. So Ryan Braun starting to come alive at the plate. Had a hit yesterday and 2 RBIs, and now a single here. That'll give Lucroy a base runner with 1 away.
Yeah, most of Braun's hits lately have come up the middle into right field, pulling that fastball. Only 89 miles an hour, a little bit in off the plate, able to hit it hard in the left.
Well, and the success of Jonathan Lucroy has had a lot to do with decision making of opposing managers. Walt Weiss said after the game he'll take that heat of pitching to Ryan Braun. That was one of the first questions he got after the game last night. And it has mostly to do with how well Jonathan Lucroy has swung the bat this season. Ryan Braun would say it's because he hasn't swung the bat so well, but I think Ryan Braun is who he is, and managers know what he's all about. I don't think it was any disrespect to Braun as it was respect for Lucroy.
Right, and I think Walt Weiss was in a no-win situation last night. If he walks Braun and Lucroy drives in the run, everybody's going to say, well, look, the guy's one of the best in the business this year. Why don't you pitch to Braun? So you can't win in those situations if you're a manager. Pick your poison. Willeen
Rosario back in the starting lineup. He's their everyday catcher. and had to leave Thursday's game with a little tightness in the back. It was McHenry who started yesterday and finished the game. Two balls, no strikes on Lucroy. Chacin delivers, and that's going to be through. A base hit. A little handle shot through the hole between third and short. Lucroy is aboard. Back-to-back singles with one away.
Yeah, one off the end and now one off the handle. I think Lucroy might have broke his bat on that base hit. Able to muscle it into left field, right in the hole, and first and second one out. Don't have to hit him hard. Lucroy makes contact. Give yourself a chance when you put the ball in play.
And a swing that produces line drives, whether they're soft line drives or firm ones. Lucroy has that kind of swing. That's why he's been so successful. So that's going to get Gomez to the plate. 2 on, 1 out. Back-to-back singles from Braun and Lucroy. Gomez was out early today before any other player, taking early batting practice. He was working on every facet of his offensive game. Bunting, driving the ball the other way, and a lot of swing thoughts going on during his session earlier today with Johnny Naron.
It was an intense session too. I mean, they were both dialed in, particularly Johnny Naron. You know, looking at the footwork, the pivot, you know, the hand, the bat path through the strike zone. It was a serious hitting session before the game today. He's trying to keep the bat in the hitting zone a little bit longer. Not often you see that from, you know, a guy like Gomez before a day game.
And he's going well. His season average is at .310. He's among the league leaders. He did have a hit last night, but he's not pleased the way he's swinging the ball, or swinging at the ball, recognizing pitches. This was early today. This is one of many drills that Gomez was going through with Johnny Naron, and great instruction there from Naron. And things just slip a little bit throughout the course of a long season, and Gomez never afraid to put in the work. Decided he wanted to get after it earlier today. There's a big swing and a miss on a breaking ball.
And that was a hanger. Just committing himself a little bit too soon on that pitch. And Chacin got away with a hanging slider. Always making adjustments, always tweaking. You know, whether you're a pitcher or position player, whether you're in the field or at the plate, it's a constant battle. This game comes at you every day. Little things turn into big things when you're not doing them right.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and Gomez takes a fastball low. And just talking to Johnny Naron, and even Mike Guerrero said as much, who assists Johnny with the hitting, that they'll typically wait for the hitter to say something. They're not going to start bombarding with information, things they see. They want the hitter to come to them and say, look, I don't feel right. I don't feel like I'm doing X, Y, or Z. And that's when the work begins. So good for Gomez. And that one's hit deep to center field. Stubbs looking up, and this ball is gone. The work pays off. Gomez with a 3-run home run. Gomez with his first home run since June 5th.
And he stayed on that one nicely, didn't he? Fastball, middle in. Gomez with a nice, easy swing, not over swinging, and knocks that one out of here. So the Brewers take an early lead, 3-0. Number 13 for Gomez. Our Powerball home run count.
Here comes Ramirez with one away. Down and away.
It's got to be gratifying. Not only Carlos Gomez, but Johnny Naron, all the work that they put in before the game today. And pays off right away. Didn't have to wait.
And no expression change from the hitting coach, Johnny Naron. He's about as steady as it gets, good or bad.
I don't think he's not, just doing cartwheels in his mind. I mean, that's just A good use of time before everybody else comes out on the field, and Gomez able to deliver.
Now Ramirez into right field. That ball's got some carry to it, but Blackman will run it down. He's a good outfielder. Got to the spot. Ramirez is retired, but he hit it hard.
This gives you a little bit of a sense for what these coaches do on a daily basis. I mean, it's going on all the time. Behind the scenes, nobody knows, and they get a lot of credit for all the hard work they put in.
They take a lot of heat when things aren't going well.
Right.
Rightly so. Every good coach is going to try to take the pressure off his players. As Davis sends one to center field. That ball's well hit. Stubbs at the track has it. A 400-foot out for Chris Davis, but the Brewers go long ball. Carlos Gomez putting in the work early, getting the results when the lights are on. 3-0 Brewers on top quickly. First inning, putting the Brewers on the board early today for Matt Garza. How about our Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery? That is Jabari Parker, the newest Milwaukee Bucks, second pick overall, throwing out the first pitch. Almost got it to home plate. He's never played baseball. Not a bad throw. Big hug for Joe Crawford. Jabari Parker making fans already. Doesn't work through the net, but he's going to make good.
He can reach around with those long arms, right?
Yeah. Making some fans early. Check out this dude. All right. Yeah, that was your ball, kid. Take it.
Well, he seems to have settled into Milwaukee very quickly, hadn't he? Talking about Parker, not the young man there. But he seems to like being in Milwaukee. He's already said that he wants to play with the Bucks his entire career.
Well, going through that rookie draftee training in the NBA, he is very polished. As Garza deals a strike to Dickerson, who was at the plate when Stubbs was caught stealing. Now, Parker's a great guy. He's a personable guy from Chicago. 1 year at Duke.
A lot of pressure on a young man, right? 1 year at Duke, a freshman, right?
Yep.
Just out of high school, and seems to be handling himself pretty well.
Well, you know he's going to get the ball. So he's probably ecstatic about that. And I hope the Bucks get it turned around. Got a new ownership group in place. I saw John Steinmiller at Summerfest yesterday. Had a bunch of fans out there, a little table set up. So yeah, let's hope they get things going in their direction again.
John Sr.
Senior. Junior's in Arizona. Garza has Dickerson in the hole, 1-2. In the air to left. Davis will slide over. And Dickerson retired.
Well, Garza certainly establishing fastball here early on. A lot of heaters, hadn't broken out the off-speed pitch yet.
Willeen Rosario will bat. He has been a Brewer killer throughout his career, this guy. He's hit for a .447 career batting average against Milwaukee. Has 5 home runs, 13 runs batted in. He homered in Colorado. He hit a long homer to center field off Frankie Rodriguez in the 9th inning of that Sunday game. Brought the Rockies within a run. K-Rod closed it out, though, and the Brewers have not lost yet this year to the Rockies. They are 5-0 with 2 to play, including this one.
Yeah, it's hard to do. I mean, win 5 straight against a big league ball club. Seems like the Brewers have taken advantage of every single mistake that the Rockies have made in this 5-game series so far. Pass ball yesterday, advancing base runners. Ryan Braun wins a game. A lot of different situations that the Brewers have capitalized on.
Yeah, scoring runs in a lot of different ways, strange ways. Hit by pitches with the bases loaded. Scored 3 runs in Colorado with a wild pitch and an error. There's a swing. He goes, and Rosario says no running necessary. He's out, and a strikeout for Matt Garza, his first.
Hey, looking for the best deal on Brewers tickets? With Brewers Dynamic Deals, you can catch all the electrifying action here at Miller Park for as low as $9. To find the best values on Brewers tickets all season long, visit brewers.com/deals.
2 up, 2 down for Garza, and that'll bring up Ryan Wheeler. Wheeler getting the start at first base today with Morneau out of the lineup. Wheeler hit a grand slam here on Thursday night. That was against Willie Peralta. Brewers would come back to win that game. Little jam shot, pop up into foul territory. Good inning for Garza. The Rockies retired in order with a strikeout for Matt. Has the Brewers on the board early today. But to see this, Rock, last night in Philadelphia, Freddie Freeman hits a drive. This is our Southwest Airlines non-stoppable play. The play is by that guy, Tom McCarthy, our colleague, the play-by-play announcer of the Phillies. They were broadcasting from the outfield, of course, and he and Matt Stairs and Jamie Moyer, he caught the ball while he's calling the play-by-play.
That's why you wear a glove. Always wear a glove when you're doing a game.
An amazing coincidence that a home run would go that far while he's calling it, and he made the catch and he threw it back.
And he was a good sport. He threw it back because the visiting team hit it. Right?
Now,
here we go.
He had his glove. Tom said he bought his glove 25 years ago for $100, and it's a glove he's always had. But we have gloves with our names on them, which he doesn't have, courtesy of our friends from Spider Sports. So we're ready too.
Yeah.
But a foul ball back this way is not the same as a home run.
I know, but you still got to catch it. And that's why you got a glove, because I got tired of you bailing out, hiding under the table.
I'm ready for overbait.
It's okay.
Come on, Lyle. Send one back here. I want to get on TV. Oh, he'll take that. That's a base hit.
I want to get on TV. That's good. I just got that.
Overbait singles to start the second inning.
Ah, you're funny.
I need a little work. I need somebody to break this glove in for me. Is there somebody on the Brewers staff that does the breaking in of the gloves? Is like there one guy who breaks in the gloves?
Yeah, because every glove is different. I mean, every player wants his glove broken in differently. You got to use it. Put some shaving cream on it. You know, the foam, the lanolin, it'll clean it up. It'll soften it up without making it heavy. Never put oil on a glove. I wouldn't really recommend putting a baseball in and tying it up. I mean, you don't. Your pocket is going to be formed when you play catch with the glove.
Yeah. You know, maybe I just need to start using it.
That would help.
Gene Segura takes a strike.
But you know, that leather these days, it doesn't take long to break these gloves in. I mean, that's pretty close.
That's nice. It's a good glove. Feels
Nice
a little
soft.
tight. I wouldn't feel good about taking this into a game right now.
That's pro stock leather right there.
Yeah, smells good. I never had a glove this nice when I played. That's for sure. That was a nice little instructional on how to break in a glove from Bill Schroeder.
Yeah.
So just to recap, you say don't put oil on it.
Never.
Don't put a ball in it, and then you put a ball in it, then wrap it up with a.
No, I mean,
don't do that.
Your pocket, you know, the glove is going to be shaped the way you catch the baseball. And when you put a ball in and tie it up, that's not the way you catch a baseball, right? I mean, everybody catches it differently.
Yes.
Use your fingers differently.
So you say this little shaving cream's all right. What would you do? You put shaving cream on the pocket,
you know,
up and down the
all
fingers?
over it. You can clean it up once you get it. You use it a lot, and it gets a little bit dirty and beat up. You put the shaving, the foam with the lanolin on it. You can buy that stuff in the grocery store. You get the lanolin foam shaving cream. I'm not going to throw out any brand names.
A little Barbasol will do.
There you go.
Take a couple dozen.
Then just let it kind of dissolve and then wipe it off.
All right.
Clean it up. Won't make it heavy.
How's about you and I play a little catch after the game today?
I tried to get you to do that for a few years.
Segura to Tulowitzki. Nice play there, and that's going to turn into two. 6-4-3 double play as Troy Tulowitzki starts a beauty against Segura. By the way, the Menards Rockies defense talking about our gloves.
Yeah, we got some changes. You got Ryan Wheeler over at first base. Justin Morneau out today. Josh Rutledge over at third base. You got Rosario back behind home plate. It was Michael McHenry last night. Same outfield that's been all 3 games of the series so far. Our Menards Rockies defense.
Here's Matt Garza with 2 away.
I tried to get you to play catch on our post-game instructionals every year, but you refused. Now why all of a sudden you want to do that?
Well, now I have a glove, so. I feel better about it now that I have my own glove. I still have my catcher's mitt from when I was a kid. There's a swing and a miss. Down goes Garza. So that turns out to be a quick inning despite a leadoff single, a double play and a K for Chacin.
Series on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Back at Miller Park, the Brewers with a 3-0 lead, and all week long the Brewers' wives have been auctioning baskets with their husbands' favorite things. Joined now by Larissa Braun and Tiffany Weeks. And Larissa, what were some of the items that you put in Ryan's basket that fans have until tomorrow to bid on?
So each basket has a minimum of 2 signed items in the basket. So we've got some batting gloves signed by Ryan, some T-shirts, and a baseball. There's also a Galaxy tablet in there, and a gift certificate to our favorite restaurant, Carnivore. Doug Melvin's basket actually has a Hank Aaron signed baseball, right?
Yeah.
And courtside tickets to the Bucks game for next season. So there's really amazing things in the baskets.
Great items in the basket. And Tiffany, what about Ricky's basket? And also, where can fans bid on these baskets?
Well, the baskets are open for bidding up until 11:59 tomorrow night, and you can go to brewers.com/wives. And our basket, one of my favorites, people don't know that during the off season, Ricky loves to cook. Steaks is his thing, so we tailgate really at home since we don't have anybody to tailgate with. So there's a lot of items about tailgating, barbecue sauce, all of our favorite ingredients to the week's secret sauce. There's also signed baseball in there, T-shirts, so a lot of really fun stuff and really cool Brewer stuff. Ricky was a little mad that I didn't buy 2 of everything, but he'll get over it.
Well, thank you, ladies, for joining us. And again, fans have until 11:59 tomorrow night to bid on the baskets. And it goes for a great cause, the Salvation Army Feed the Kids program. Brian.
All right. Nice going, Sophia. Thanks to Larissa and Tiffany. And that's a great cause. We were talking about that with Debbie Atanasio yesterday and how the wives have done such a great job, especially in the Atanasio era. That has been a point of focus for the ownership group since they took over in 05, and they've really done great work in the community.
Sometimes as busy as the players, right?
There's the wives with Debbie Atanasio. That was at a luncheon yesterday. And they can get things from their husbands / boyfriends that we certainly can't as far as equipment goes, and we can go down there and ask for a bat or a glove, but let's just say they have the right connections. There's a shot off the foot of Garza, and this is going to work as a base hit for Josh Rutledge. And Garza looks like he's all right.
Rutledge has been swinging the bat pretty well in this series. Hit that big home run to tie it up. Look like he got him right on the heel. He got some protection there. Look at Garza making the adjustment, going over to cover first base. Looks like he's all right.
And shoos all attention away. So that's an infield hit. Both of the hits for the Rockies today have been infield hits. Stubbs and now Rutledge. And a man on to start this 3rd inning for DJ LeMahieu. LeMahieu hitting 8th in this lineup, a .266 batting average. LeMahieu got the start on Thursday night at second base. He and Rutledge have been sharing time there. Today Rutledge gets a call at third base. The Rockies are hopeful that Nolan Arenado will return within the week. He is headed out on a minor league rehab assignment. I believe he starts today. Gold Glove third baseman who brings a little offense as well.
Yeah, broke a finger on his glove hand, sliding into a base. It's been a big loss for the Rockies. I mean, they have had a lot of injuries this year. Their pitching staff and position players, some big names out.
Rockies are without Carlos Gonzalez, Michael Kadire, and Arenado, 3 starters and 3 prominent hitters in their lineup as well. And they've had significant injuries in their pitching staff as well.
Yeah, but with injury comes opportunity, and Corey Dickerson certainly taking advantage of the opportunity to get some playing time. So they might have found something in Dickerson because of the injuries.
So much so you wonder if it makes Michael Kadire expendable if you might see the Rockies trade Kadire. He is out with a fractured shoulder now, so he's going to have to come back and prove he's healthy. But there would be no shortage of contending teams lining up to acquire Michael Kadire if he shows he's healthy. Little jam shot to Jeanette, throw to first. Oh, and hit the runner. And Overbay, wow, he's safe. Overbay tried to get a tag on him. And they might take a look at this one. That was some kind of play by Overbay after the ball hit Rutledge. That was going to be an easy double play. But the quick thinking Overbay.
Hey, you wonder he threw his arm up there. I mean, I guess I'm not sure you're able to do that, but kind of incidental. See, does he get back?
Oh, he's out. I think. Yeah, he's out. They're going to look at this one.
Yeah, they got to look at that. I mean, that's pretty close.
Yeah, those fingers never went down on the base, so this is going to be a challenge by Ron Renicky. And they will go to the headsets. Well, if that call last night on Gomez was overturned,
yeah, right.
This one certainly should be.
Well, talk about splitting hairs in that call last night. Sliding into second base, slid across the top of the bag. Called him safe and called him out on the review. That looked pretty close.
So the calling umpire, C.B. Buckner, is there with the crew chief, Dale Scott. And these two umpires just saw the replay on the big board. And impressively stoic as they see what just happened. Probably the best look at it. Just got to think where there's the tag there on the fingers.
Well, it's hard to tell. I mean, you know, the umpires back in New York have different angles that they get to look at. They get to look at the Rockies angles and the ones that we have, and who knows? I mean, pretty close. Remember, the call on the field's safe. We've been surprised by some of these reviews that have been overturned so far this year, so you never know how it's going to be called. Yeah, the hand goes down by Rutledge, but not on the bag until he reaches for it the second time.
Yeah, and here comes the call. They have made their decision in New York, and the crew chief rings him up. So out is the call. And they got it right. Successful challenge for Ron Renicky and John Shelby, who is monitoring in the clubhouse.
It's so close, though, isn't it? I mean, how are these umpires supposed to get them all right when you're looking at frame by frame? C.B. Buckner thought it was safe. It looked like it could have gone either way to me.
Now, from the umpires that we've talked to, they are embracing replay. They want it. They want to make sure they get it right. The idea is to get the calls right, and now that they have the safety net of replay, they are able to do that. And we asked them when we went and toured the replay facility in New York last month. We asked that question of how these umpires handling it when they get their call overturned. He goes, you know, it's better to have it overturned immediately and get it right, so it doesn't affect play, as opposed to watching it on the highlight shows that night
and getting buried for it, right? Yeah,
that seems to be the consensus. But I'm sure there's a little pride factor in there. These umpires, they don't want to get these calls wrong. They're all here to do a job, and they do it better than any other officiating group in all sports.
Without a doubt. No kidding. That's true. They have to make a call no matter what. You know, the other sports don't even have to make a call. A no call. They don't have that luxury.
What we're able to see now with our technology on television, some things that we've never been able to see before, and things that the human eye can't see. Let's just face it. So that play with Gomez last night. Now I wonder if they're going to go back and start to look at some of these decisions when, you know, he's off the bag by inches as he's sliding across the base.
Already safe. Yeah.
It's going to be the next interesting discussion that they have.
Back-to-back calls like that. I mean, 2 nights in a row, one in L.A., one yesterday here in Milwaukee. Identical play. Slide head first, you get the bag, then you slide completely across the bag, and part of his body was off the bag as he slides across, and they hold the tag, and you wonder if they're going to take another look at that, as you mentioned.
Chacin pops it up in the infield, and Garza, after a leadoff infield hit, will get through it. The double play led to it. Nice reaction by Overbay. Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Marshfield Clinic, don't just live, shine. And by Gerhardt's, the kitchen and bath store. Find inspirational design solutions and quality kitchen and bath products for your home. Visit GerhardtStore.com. She's a beaut, ain't she? Miller Park on a Saturday afternoon. Good crowd on hand here today, getting married. Yeah, huh? Nice bachelorette party. AT&T U-verse rewind. You see this, Rock? Mike Trout last night in Kansas City, hitting him where very few go. That's up there in Bo Jackson territory. That was a 489-foot home run by Mike Trout, who has 18 on the year.
Yeah, he's something else, isn't he?
One of the game's most dynamic players. We'll talk a whole lot about his power. He has great power. It's about as far as you can hit a baseball in Kansas City.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, ball doesn't really carry all that well there. You know, baseball, you know, it's humid in Kansas City, but that was a blast.
Scooter Gennett leads off for the Crew. The Brewers lead 3-0 on a Carlos Gomez 3-run home run. That was in the first inning. Gennett struck out his first time up. Scooter comes into play today, leading National League second baseman in batting average, slugging percentage, and OPS. That's on base plus slugging combined. That's usually the category that Mike Trout leads every year. Although Gomez has had an impressive OPS the last season and a half as well, and Gennett is up there over 800.
He surprised everybody. I think everybody realized he was going to hit at some point, but you know, not the way he has this early. I mean, you know, making contact, driving the ball out of the ballpark. And that's what it takes. I mean, for a team like the Brewers, you know, to be doing what they're doing with the best record in the league, everybody has to be having good seasons, and right now they are.
Well, Gennett checks in today with just enough plate appearances to qualify. He is 6th in the league in batting. Came in batting .311. Gomez is 8th in the league to start the day. And there's a strike on Gennett. 3-2 the count.
Chacin's not throwing hard at all. I mean, that pitch, look, it was right at the top of the strike zone. If even that, Dan Iasonia calling it a strike. Look up. I don't think he's hit 90 miles an hour yet today. I haven't seen too many if he has. 88, 89, breaking pitch at about 83 to 85. He used to throw a lot harder than that.
3-2 to Jeanette, and he gets under this one. A pop up in the infield. Tulowitzki makes a play for the out. And the first out of the third inning for Chacin. Jeanette thought he drew ball 4, drew the walk. Instead, he's 0 for 2, and that'll bring up Ryan Braun. Braun with a base hit in the first inning. Had a single. He pulled one into left. Back-to-back hits by Braun and Lucroy. And then Gomez hit the 3-run home run. Last night, Braun with his 6th career walk-off hit. Had one of the more famous walk-off home runs in Miller Park history. That was back in 08. Braun's second year in the league, hit a grand slam against the Pirates. As the Brewers were marching to the postseason for the first time in 26 years.
Yeah, probably wouldn't have got to the postseason. Wouldn't have won the wild card had the Brewers not won. Man, what a great end to that season back in 08. A lot of fun here at Miller Park.
They collapsed by the Mets, and the Brewers surged at the end despite changing managers with 12 games remaining in the season. Ned Yost let go. Dale Swaim took over. Braun and CC Sabathia, Prince Fielder. Braun hit a huge home run on the last day of the season. That CC Sabathia complete game on the final Sunday of the year against the Cubs. He hit a home run to put him ahead in the bottom of the 8th inning. He has had a knack for the clutch, as we showed you in our open. And Braun whistles that one to center field. Stubbs came in, goes back, and makes the catch. Almost misplayed it. That ball was smoked.
But curveball up in the strike zone. Hey, today's Tavern of the Game winner, Smokey's Bar and Grill in Holman. That's north of La Crosse, if you're wondering.
Yeah, it was.
If the contact calls the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game this year. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and our good friends at Miller Lite. It's a Miller Lite kind of day today.
They got the sun shining brightly. It doesn't show here as Lucroy turns on one deep to left. Dickerson looks up. It's off the base of the wall. And Lucroy on his way to second base with a double. Jumping on that first pitch. It's a 2-out double for Lucroy.
Well, it's not often he goes too many games without getting multiple hits, but Lucroy jumps all over that fastball. 88 miles an hour. And short hops the ball out there. Easy double. Cruises into second base. And still another 2-base hit for Jonathan Lucroy.
Now Lucroy is second in the league in doubles. He leads the National League in multi-hit games. And now has 30 multi-hit games. Lucroy today is playing in his 76th game of the year. Here's Gomez now. Gomez had a swing just like that on that same pitch just before he hit a 3-run home run to center field in the first.
They tried to sneak a fastball by him and hit the 3-run homer. 2
outs with Lucroy at second base. And another breaking ball. Gomez chases again, and it's 0-2. Take you back to the first. 1 out, 2 on. Gomez launches one out of here.
Talking about making a mistake with 2 strikes. Fastball right in his wheelhouse and knocks it out of here. Early lead for Matt Garza.
13th home run of the season. Gomez now with 44 runs batted in. He's the club leader in RBIs. And that ball is hit deep to left, but well foul. Count remains at 0-2. The Brewers still the only major league club with 5 players with 40 or more runs batted in. It hasn't been 1 or 2 guys every night. It's been a good balance. Ramirez, Lucroy, Gomez, Davis, and Braun. Got him. Chacin struck him out, went back to the hook. Gomez is out, inning is over, and it's still 3-0 Milwaukee. To the 4th inning now at Miller Park. A reminder that Tuesday, July 15th, baseball's best gather in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's the All-Star Game. Special coverage beginning 4:30 on Fox Sports 1, followed by the 2014 All-Star Game, 7:30 p.m. only on Fox. And here is today's Feldco All-Star voting update. The Brewers have 8 players on the list. Lucroy jumping over Buster Posey. He's currently 2nd. And then you've got Gomez and Ramirez right now as starters at the All-Star Game. Keep voting. You have until July 3rd. Let your vote be heard across Major League Baseball. Brewers figure to have a number of All-Stars there this year. And the team with the best record in the National League, you would think that would be the case. Garza starts the 4th inning. Strike 1 to Charlie Blackmon. Rockies are back to the top of their order. Garza faced the minimum through the first 3 innings, despite giving up 2 infield hits. And a couple of base runners eliminated from the bag. Stubbs was caught stealing. And then Rutledge last inning got too far off the base on a line drive. And by the way, the official scoring on that, not a double play. 2 separate plays.
Because he got back. He wasn't doubled off on the line drive. He got back and then was tagged out, officially trying to advance to second base. Although he was trying to get back to first base.
That makes sense.
But it will not show up in the totals for Brewers double plays this year.
That's where it counts. Nor will it show up that way on my scorebook. It is an L4 to LeMahieu and a 3 unassisted for Overbay. In on the hands, a pop-up, foul territory. Lucroy and Overbay. It'll be Lucroy. Nice catch. Lucroy was taking a look at that rail just to see how close he could get, and makes the play for the first out.
Got in on his hands and not really high enough for Overbay to get there. So Lucroy says, I got it, no problem. Plenty of room.
Catchers still rank higher than pitchers when it comes to catching pop-ups in fair or foul territory, but not by much.
You're talking about pop-up priority?
Let's get into a little pop-up priority here, Rob.
Yeah. Well, pitchers are last.
They're always going to be last.
Catchers are next to last. Because the catcher's mitt really not designed to catch pop-ups.
You feel bad for pitchers sometimes, but other than all the work they do on the mound throwing the ball, they really don't have a place. They're kind of put in the corner a little bit. There's a strike from Garza. Although Kyle Lohse, you got to admit, Lohse was impressive with the glove yesterday.
Brewers has some very good fielding pitchers. Kyle Lohse probably the best. Marco is very good.
I would consider Kyle Lohse Gold Glove worthy on the mound as a defender.
No doubt.
Made a pirouette play yesterday that showed some athleticism. Got an out. A run did score, but he was able to get it out and minimize the damage. There's a swing and a miss. Garza strikes out Stubbs. His second K, and Garza has retired the first 2 in this 4th inning.
Starting to break out the off-speed pitches now. It was a lot of fastballs first time through the batting order. And a very good slider to get Stubbs. Tried to pull it. Throwing a couple of curveballs in this inning. And gets him on the slider. You know, most pitchers that get a lot of ground ball outs are good fielding pitchers. They have to be.
Well, Jim Cott had a long run of Gold Gloves in his time on the mound, pitching across the decades, in the 60s and the 70s, 80s.
Maddox.
Yeah, Greg Maddox, the Hall of Fame member.
Both of those guys big time ground ball pitchers. Not a lot of strikeouts normally. You get sinkers and you expect the ball on the ground. Sometimes they come right back at you. You have to be able to field your position.
2-0 the count on Tulowitzki with 2 away here in the 4th inning. In the air to left. Playable for Davis. And Garza gets him on a slider. A 3-up, 3-down inning for Matt Garza. Still face the minimum through 4. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite, now in the original can, it's Miller time. Beautiful day, Milwaukee, Wisconsin on a Saturday afternoon. We welcome you back from Miller Park, 3-0 Brewers. And Aramis Ramirez on the first pitch sends one to left. Dickerson is there. One pitch, one out. Brewers have had a couple of narrow misses in today's game, but they had one connect. That was Gomez, who hit a 3-run home run in the first inning.
Well, Ramirez has hit the ball hard twice, but just not enough to get it out of the ballpark. You've has made some mistakes, but he's been able to get away with most of them.
That'll bring Chris Davis to the plate. Now Chris Davis leading our Powerball home run count with 14. He's the club leader with those 14 homers. Was the club leader in RBIs up until yesterday. Gomez hit his 13th earlier today. Davis pops one up. Center fielder Stubbs will make the play for out number 2. So 3 pitches, 2 outs for Jhoulys Chacín.
Yeah, a lot of fly ball outs for Chacín. The only ground ball out was a double play ball off the bat of Segura.
Lyle Overbay now, who has one of the 5 Brewer hits. Overbay singled in the second inning. Milwaukee had 3 consecutive hits in the first. Braun and Lucroy with singles, and then the Gomez home run. Overbay's hit came in the second inning, and then Lucroy had a 2-out double last inning. Those are the 5 safeties so far. Tell you, the Rockies keep the shift on with Overbay, even though he slapped one through the hole between what would be the third baseman and the shortstop, but would be where the shortstop normally plays. A lot of teams are putting this shift on for Overbay, something he never saw until last season.
And he's pretty good at shooting the ball to left field. We saw that already today. And you wonder, that's about as exaggerated a shift as we've seen for Overbay. But the scouting reports, the spray charts don't lie, do they?
Yeah, when you start to see multiple opponents do it.
It's got to be tempting just to drop one down over there.
And Overbay strikes out, so that will retire the side. 3 up and 3 down as Chacín works quickly through the Brewers' 4th inning.
Rockies on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. We are back at Miller Park, the Brewers with a 3-0 lead as we head to the top of the 5th. And in our Crew in the Community on Monday, June 30th, Davey Nelson will again host his celebrity golf tournament in support of Brewers Community Foundation and Open Arms Home for Children, an organization located in South Africa, which serves as an orphanage for children struggling to survive. So Open Arms provides shelter, clothing, and basic health care for children, assuring them a better chance at life and their futures. You can join Davey and all kinds of Brewers friends at Whistling Straits for golf and fundraising. And you can still register. Go to brewers.com/Davey. It's always a great event. Our good friend Davey Nelson and his celebrity golf tournament. PA.
All right, thanks, Sophia. World-class venue there at Whistling Straits. And we wish Davey the best with that venture. Now, Matt Garza rolling along here so far. 4 shutout innings, only 2 hits allowed. Those 2 hits were infield hits. Both runners were eliminated off the base path, so Garza has still faced the minimum through the first 4. Corey Dickerson, Willeen Rosario, and Ryan Wheeler will start it.
It hasn't been the big fastball for Garza today. It's been very good location. Putting it on the corners, able to establish inside, starting to throw some pretty good curveballs out there now. He's been on a roll lately, 6 consecutive quality starts.
Oh, great play by Overbay. Garza is there. Dickerson retired. Boy, a hot shot off the bat of Dickerson. We came on the air talking about the first base defense in our Brewers live segment today, and Overbay responds immediately.
He's been outstanding. I mean, his entire career, he's been a solid defender over there, and shows you he can still have the quickness to get down that line and take extra bases away from Dickerson to start out the 5th. That's a nice play. Angling back, able to smother it and flip it over to Garza for the out.
I want to bring Sophia back in here. We were talking earlier about the Brewers and their defense behind Matt Garza has been a little shaky, but Sophia, Ron Renicky says you want to get crisp defense. There's a little bit of responsibility on the pitcher in that regard.
Well, it is, and he said that's something he's always keeping an eye on with Matt Garza and also Marco Estrada, that trying to get on a pace similar to Kyle Loesch, who likes to work quickly. He says, and what happens there is it keeps the defense sharp because it doesn't give their mind a chance to wander. He said sometimes during those long innings you can lose your focus. You may be thinking about what happened in a previous at-bat or looking ahead to the next at-bat. So he says then you can focus on the pitch, you're ready to go. And so it's something he's been addressing with several of his pitchers.
And it's not just working quickly, it's throwing a lot of strikes. I mean, you can work quickly and throw pitches out of the strike zone all day, and your defense are going to be on their heels.
Bouncer to Segura, has plenty of time here and takes care of Willeen Rosario.
Another thing about Garza in the defense, I mean, sometimes he's his own worst enemy defensively. He's a guy that's going to make some errors, throwing errors. So it's not just the guys behind him. Sometimes Matt himself will commit some errors and cost him some runs.
Well, he has had the pedal down so far today. Garza plowing through this Colorado Rockies order. He is now retired 7 in a row. And 11 of his last 12. Just 2 base runners today. Stubbs had an infield hit in the first. He was caught stealing. And then Rutledge had an infield hit to start the 3rd inning and got caught off the bag after a line drive to Jeanette. So Garza has only pitched from the stretch for just a couple of batters there. Actually, a couple of pitches in the 1st inning. Every pitcher will tell you those who work out of the windup, most starters do, some relievers do not. But if you're in the windup, that is your best rhythm. Wheeler, a bouncer to Overbay, nice and soft. He's got it to Garza, and Matt Garza rolling along. Another 3 up, 3 down inning. That is 8 straight retired. Wisconsin is brought to you by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. 3-0 our score. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Brewers are coming up. Our Carsoup.com trivia today: who has the most walk-off hits in a single season for the Brewers since '74? Good question. You can go at some of the big names. It's never a bad guess. Ryan Braun has 6 career walk-off hits and had his first last night since 2011. Gene Segura leads off for the Crew. Bounced into a double play his last time up. Segura, Garza, and then Scooter Gennett. 8-9-1 coming up for the Brewers. It has been a steady diet of salad from Jolice Chassin, as Dennis Eckersley would say. Off-speed stuff. Spotted fastball that has not reached 90 miles an hour yet.
Salad?
Salad.
You want to elaborate on that?
I don't know what exactly that means, but that's what he calls breaking ball pitchers.
Really?
I thought maybe you'll be able to shed some light on it.
I've never heard that. They call them junk ballers and crafty right-handers and a lot of things. Never heard them called salad.
I suppose the salad as opposed to the meat and potatoes kind of guys. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. Big fastball guys, you know, meat and potatoes.
Maybe.
You never asked them?
Never asked him. No, I didn't. I thought it was just one of those insider baseball things I'd throw out there for you.
You figured you should have known, so you don't ask?
Exactly.
Believe me, ask them.
Full count to Segura. And a drive into center field, a base hit. Good piece of hitting there. So Segura with his first knock of the game. And the Brewers now have 6 hits. And that'll give Garza a chance to bunt him over.
Just remember, no such thing as a dumb question.
I got to remember that next time. I don't hear that very often, though. I ask you a lot of questions, and you say, that's a dumb question.
Not true.
Garza squares, gets the bunt down. Nicely done. And he's out, and Segura advances to second base. Sack bunt number 5 of the year for Matt Garza.
Well, doing the little things, the Brewers executing beautifully. Segura dropped down a couple of great bunts yesterday. Hey, it's Scooter Gennett bobblehead day tomorrow. All fans in attendance as the Brewers take on the Rockies in the 4th and final game of the series here at Miller Park. We get this collectible bobblehead of the Brewers second baseman courtesy of Wisconsin Army National Guard. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit Brewers.com.
Gennett in a run producer's role here in the 5th. The Brewers leadoff hitter is 0 for 2. And what will probably be his only start of this 4-game series, with the Rockies rolling out 3 left-handed starters. Tomorrow it's going to be Jorge De La Rosa, the former Brewer. Another lefty. There's a bunt, and it's going to roll foul. Boy, if it stays on the grass, it's a base hit for Gennett.
Sometimes, though, with the spin on the baseball coming off the bat, it's going to be rolling foul. Most of the time it will. Gennett just trying to get a couple of more men on for Ryan Braun. You can see the spin on it. And Chassin grabs it as soon as it gets into foul territory.
No balls and a strike on Gennett. Making quite a name for himself, Scooter Gennett. He'll have his own bobblehead day tomorrow. Got a big crowd expected. A lot of folks here today. Little cue shot, and Segura's on his way to third. Tulowitzki's throw is late, so Gennett with an infield hit. Once it got past Rutledge, that was going to be a tough play for Tulowitzki. Made a nice play to even have a chance, but Scooter with an infield knock first and third with one out.
That's a pretty good base running by Gene Segura. Check it out. He runs on a ball hit in front of him and out of the reach of Rutledge. Once that happens, no way you're going to get Jeanette at first base. That's a risky move for Segura to go to third base there. He didn't really know at the time he took off that Rutledge couldn't get it, but able to get there.
Well, it works out well. If it's a couple of feet to the left, Rutledge probably gloves it and puts a tag on Segura.
Easy, maybe a double play.
Instead, first and third, one gone. Ryan Braun at the plate. Brewers trying to add to their lead. Scored all three of their runs on a Gomez homer in the first. And Braun, a line drive to right, and it's going to be down. A base hit into the corner it goes. Segura scores. Jeanette around third. He's coming home. And the throw is late. Jeanette is safe. 2 runs in. Braun with a triple and 2 RBIs, and it's 5-0.
I guess you're Charlie Blackmon. That's a risk you have to take. Already down 3 runs. You knew the 4th run was coming in. And not able to get there. Once it gets by him, you know Ryan Braun's going to be able to get to third base. Scooter Jeanette able to score. So the Brewers break this one open here in the 5th. On a triple by Ryan Braun. So Ryan getting hot. Well, a lot of his damage has come up the middle in the right field this year.
Triple number 4 to go along with 10 home runs. Braun has hit the ball sharply 3 times today, has 2 hits to show for it. And now he's at third base with Lucroy coming up. Still just 1 out. Rockies will bring their infield in as Lucroy has a chance to add to the lead. And a first pitch breaking ball in there for a strike. 2 for 2 today. Lucroy, the National League leader in multi-hit games, has a single and a double. In the air, left field, hooking, foul. Hit a mile.
Oh, baby.
Off the stadium club out there. My goodness.
I mean, high off that glass out there in the stadium club. My goodness. Look out, folks. You don't see many up there.
That is the left field equivalent of the dudek in right field. That is a long way from home plate. Oh, and 2 the count. It's a long, loud strike for Lucroy. Braun at third. Inside. Almost hit him. It's his best fastball of the day at 91.
Trying to keep him honest, straighten him up off the inside corner, maybe come back away again. Got to come inside once in a while if you're throwing a steady diet of salad.
What's that mean, Ron?
I don't know. Do you think he mind if I use it once in a while?
No, I think it works great. Love that. Nothing Crew in the 5th. Infield in against Lucroy. And the 1-2. Lucroy puts it in play. Braun stays put. And here comes Braun now. And he's safe. Wow. Braun had the Rockies thinking he was staying put, and flying down the line scores the run.
Boy, that's just incredible base running by Ryan Braun. I mean, it was kind of a indecision by the Rockies as to who was going to take that ground ball. Nobody there at first base. You know, once you saw LeMahieu busted over to first, Ryan Braun takes off, and he's able to score run number 6. That'll be an RBI for Jonathan Lucroy, courtesy of Ryan Braun.
4 unassisted. Great base running by Braun as Gomez over to third base. Rutledge makes the play. And that will retire the side, but the Brewers put another crooked number on the board. 3 more. Started with a Segura 2-strike single. And then the base hit by Scooter Gennett. Ryan Braun with a triple brings them both in. And then Braun with excellent base running scores the 3rd run of the inning. 6-0 Milwaukee. Brew Crew as we go to the 6th. And Milwaukee trying to win their 6th consecutive game against the Rockies this season. Now time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag WisFanPhoto. You'll have a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. It is brought to you by AT&T. Now the Brewers have it going their way today on both sides. 3-run first, a 3-run 5th. Braun driving in 2 more runs. He regains the top spot on the club in RBIs. Now with 45 RBIs for the season after he just knocked in a pair with a triple. Meanwhile, Matt Garza is rolling along. He has faced the minimum, 2 infield hits today. And facing Josh Rutledge to start this 6th inning. Bottom 3 in the order coming up. Rutledge, LeMahieu, and then the pitcher spot. We'll see if Weiss sends Chacin back out in a 6-0 game. Rutledge has one of the 2 hits. He hit a hot grounder off the foot of Garza back in the 3rd inning. In the air to right. Easy enough for Braun as he settles under it, and out number 1. Hey, we want to send out a shout out for a 50th wedding anniversary. Dan and Betty Trost from Beaver Dam celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary today. So happy anniversary, Dan and Betty. Here's LeMahieu with one away. Segura, and that'll go into center field, a base hit. So LeMahieu with the first hit that finds the outfield.
2-seam fastball that looked like a knuckle buster there, and Segura not able to get that. That ball wasn't hit hard at all.
And Walt Weiss will send his pitcher up there in a 6-0 game. It's a bit of a white flag.
I need some innings. I really need some innings, even though the Rockies have a number of pitchers out there in the bullpen.
Chacin shows bunt and takes a ball. No, takes a strike. I beg your pardon.
Both of these teams, both of them have 8 relievers down in the bullpen. 6 right-handers for the Rockies, 2 lefties. And still, Chassin out there down by 6.
Squares again. And that's in the dirt. And skips away from Lucroy a bit. 1 ball, 1 strike on Chassin. On the mound today, Chassin has gone 5 innings. He's given up 6 runs on 8 hits. All 6 runs are earned.
Back-to-back starts for Chassin where he's gotten rocked around a little bit. Gave up 5 runs against the Cardinals his last time out. 6 today.
Well, Garza has allowed just 3 hits, all singles. If he can get a bunt firm to an infielder, might have a chance to turn 2. Runner takes off and a bouncing ball through. Chassin with a hit. The old Butcher Boy play, and Colorado putting up a threat here in this 6th inning.
Well, nice play. I mean, did a nice job showing bunt, had the Brewers infield moving around, and able to pull it back and make contact. Gets it on the ground and hit it in the vacated spot where Segura was.
Garza wants a new ball. One that doesn't have a hit in it. Top of the order, here's Charlie Blackmon. Did you read that story the other day from A.J. Pierzynski of the Red Sox?
That's good.
Pitcher threw a ball that he thought was a strike. He asked the umpire for a new ball, and he said, "Give me a new ball, one that you can see." He got ejected. It's a great line.
Yeah. Now, back in the old days, the umpire would have laughed too instead of getting ejected.
Yeah, that's funny.
Honestly.
Well, we don't know how he said it. He might have put a few of his own words in there.
I guess, yeah. All right, you're right.
But either way,
the magic words.
It's a great line.
Yeah.
Give me a new ball, one that you can see. There's a bouncer. Garza knocked it down. Tough play. Segura's throw is late, and now the bases are loaded. Bases loaded, 1 out as Blackmon reaches on an infield hit.
Yeah, that probably would have been into center field, and the run in had Garza not got a piece of it, but Blackmon pretty quick. He can run. He can steal bases, gets down that line quickly. And Garza in his first bit of trouble here today.
Well, and you got a guy at the plate who has some power. Drew Stubbs. You got Tulowitzki on deck. Stubbs is a tough guy to double up as well. He runs very well. So Garza in his first real trouble. Bases loaded, 1 out. Stubbs takes a strike.
Struck him out on a slider last time up. A good one.
Strike 2 on Stubbs. Same pitch, inside corner with an extra mile an hour of velocity.
Yeah, got him thinking outside, able to bust the inside corner.
Oh, 2, bases loaded. And Stubbs off his foot. Count remains no balls, 2 strikes. Six to nothing, but the Rockies have loaded him up with 1 away. No balls, 2 strikes. Again, Stubbs lays off. Now this could tighten up quickly with one swing of the bat. We got the league's leading hitter on deck as well. Garza knows this is the man he wants right here and now. 1-2. Count goes to 2-2, and Stubbs doesn't chase that breaking ball from Garza.
And just too far out of the strike zone. Last time he got him on a slider, that was a little bit off the plate, but close.
Two and two now. Garza delivers. Stubbs in the air. Shallow right center. Long run. And that's going to fall. A base hit. And a run will score. So Stubbs with a flare single. It is 6-1 now. And the bases are still loaded.
I don't know how that ball drops. Boy, that ball was up there a long time. And nobody able to get there. Just falls out of the reach of Jeanette. And think about the hits that Garza's given up in this inning. A jam shot by LeMahieu. The base hit by Chacin. Blackman hit Garza with a batted ball. Now Stubbs with a blooper. Deserves a better fate.
First run of the game for Colorado. Rick Kranitz out to chat with Garza. Well, now you got to deal with Tulowitzki. Well, maybe Walt Weiss knew what he was doing. He sent the pitcher out there to hit in a 6-0 game. Chacin got a base hit on the old Butcher Boy play, and now he has Tulowitzki. This is a high-powered offense still. A long ball here. It's a one-run game. Tulowitzki 0 for 2. Boy, he chased one. He was hacking.
Normally a guy that takes early in the count, but he picks his spots. Bases loaded. He figures I'm going to take a shot here. And not too bad for Tulowitzki in these situations.
Brewers could use a ground ball here. They're set to turn a double play. The 0-1 inside almost hit him. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Four consecutive hits by the Rockies. Stubbs with the RBI. 6-1 Milwaukee. Well, that 3-run 5th inning is standing up tall right now. Tulowitzki lined out to center in the first inning, and he flew out to left his last time up. That was in the 4th. Garza's been cruising along. Retired 9 in a row before this string of 4 straight hits for Colorado. The 2-1. Tulowitzki in the air to left. Playable for Davis. Tagging at third is Chacin, and Davis's throw comes to third base. That'll be an RBI for Tulowitzki. A sac fly, but a big bat to eliminate for Matt Garza.
They'd take that any day, wouldn't you? Bases loaded, 1 out. You got Tulowitzki up, and you give him the fly ball and driving the run. Could be a lot worse. Tulowitzki's been out in front on Garza today.
6-2 Milwaukee. Not out of the woods yet. Here's Corey Dickerson. Hit the ball sharply his last time up. Took a great diving play by Overbay at first on a ball that was headed into the corner for extra bases. 2 on, 2 out. Strike 1, the fastball.
A lot of first pitch strikes for Matt Garza today, and most of it coming on the fastball, meaning he's locating it pretty well.
On the edge again, strike 2. Oh, that's got Dickerson shaking his head. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 on, 2 outs. 2 runs are in for Colorado on 4 hits. Inside this time, straightens him up. We'll do it again. See what he has in mind here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and a fastball fouled back. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, staying with the fastball against a pretty good fastball hitter. That went up and in. Not able to get the barrel of the bat on it. Yeah, Garza 16 of 23 in first pitch strikes today. That's pretty good.
And had only pitched out of the stretch for 1 batter until this inning. Another 1-2 coming from Garza, and a fastball again. He got him. Garza sticking with the heat. Gives up 2. It's 6-2 Milwaukee. Up to Miller Park would be complete without the Clements' famous racing sausages. The Italian got a little swag going and holds off the hot dog for the win today. If you're scoring at home, it belongs to the Italian. As promised earlier in the broadcast, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Are we going with Donna or Dona? And I'm not sure if that's the dog's name or the tweeter's name, but that's a cool looking dog right there. Got him all dressed up. I'm sure that dog loves that.
Got the hat, glasses on, and yeah, Otis would do that.
Oh yeah, just for a little Scooby snack, little treat.
A couple of begging strips.
Well, we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Brewers lead the Rockies 6-2. Well, things tightened up there a little bit. Bases loaded. Couple of runs did score. RBIs from Stubbs and Tulowitzki, but Garza gets through it. Here's Ramirez now, and a line drive base hit. Jumping on the first pitch by Chacin. And Aramis Ramirez is aboard. His first hit of the day.
Yeah, finally cashing in. He had a couple of near misses his first 2 times up. Took on a first pitch breaking pitch and able to get it off the end of the bat and into left field. Time to add on, get those 2 runs back. Got to figure that Brewers bullpen. There might be a couple of guys not available today. There's been a lot of guys that have thrown a lot. You'd like to be able to get a little bit more distance between you and the Rockies here. You prefer not to use your back end of your bullpen today.
Yeah, Smith has pitched a lot lately, 3 in a row. K-Rod's been out there quite a bit. Rob Wooten. Well, we'll see if the Brewers can add to the lead, make it easy on their manager here today. Chris Davis with Ramirez at first. Davis is 0 for 2, 2 fly ball outs to center. In the air to left field, that is hooking. Dickerson on the run, can't get it. That one hops out, so that's a ground rule double. And Davis with his 3rd double in the last 2 games. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out to start the 6th.
And Brewer just continue to put a good swing on Chacin. A breaking pitch up in the strike zone, and Davis gets it down toward the end just a little bit to keep it in the ballpark and hooks it out of the reach of Dickerson out there in left field. Looked like it was right at him initially, but one hops over the fence. So the Brewers back in business, trying to get those 2 runs back.
And it'll be Lyle Overbay with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Infield back in for Colorado. The Brewers put up another threat as Overbay takes a strike. Overbay's overall season average is 242 updated. But with runners in scoring position, he's hitting 324. That'll drift into the seats, and no balls, 2 strikes on Overbay. Overbay 90 points or thereabouts higher with runners in scoring position this year. He has been clutch.
Well, veteran guys have been there before. They realize who all the pressure's on, and that is the pitcher normally. And certainly the pressure all over Chacin here with nobody out.
Got Nick Massett in the bullpen. And Overbay shoots one into left, a base hit. Ramirez will score. And the Brewers get 1 back. It is 7-2 as Lyle Overbay delivers his 21st RBI. He continues to come through in the clutch.
Yeah, slices that one just out of the reach of the drawn in infield. Got to be a little bit tough to see right now. Got down on the trademark a little bit. Chacin got in on him, but able to muscle it through the infield. Not much range when you're that shallow. And the Brewers dugout with the O's.
Big Jim Wright, the Rockies pitching coach, and a chat with Chacin. Well, the Rockies did get 2 runs last inning, but you know Walt Weiss is trying to get some innings out of Chacin. That's why he bats in a 6-0 game. Turns out that the Rockies scored a couple of runs. So the last thing you know Walt Weiss wants to do here is take his starter out. But boy, he is sticking with him through thick and thin here today. 7 earned runs on the board on 11 hits, and he's still on the mound with Segura coming up.
And a lot of the outs have been hit pretty well.
Breaking ball strike. Got that sun shining in on home plate, coming through the panels above the first base grandstand.
And making it a little bit more difficult to see for the hitter at this point. Pitcher in the shade, then the ball comes out of the shade into the sun.
Now the Brewers have had the roof halfway closed the entire game to try to eliminate some of the shadows. And Segura waves and misses at a breaking ball. Oh, check it, 1-2 the count. Probably a lot of fans wondering if the roof is stuck today. Not the case.
No, they've done this before.
Halfway open.
Day games during the summer.
Especially the 3 o'clock starts, the late afternoon starts. Segura puts the ball in play. And Davis. Now Davis in a rundown, and the throw home is in time. What a great throw from Chacin.
I'm not sure what Chris Davis was doing. You know, once he saw that Chacin could not get the double play ball, he should probably just gone back to third base. Right there is when you go back. Just go back right there. They probably get the out. Then you have second and third and one out. So a base running mistake by Chris Davis. And surprised more than anybody is Chacin right there. Never figured he had an out at home plate.
And the Brewers are going to send a pinch runner out for Segura. He must be hurt. Elian Herrera will pinch run for Segura.
Remember that ground ball early in last inning that Segura just wasn't able to get to. He kind of started and stopped. A little jam shot by LeMahieu, and it's kind of surprising that he didn't go after it. And now we know why.
We'll get an update from the Brewers clubhouse as soon as we can. Garza's up there to bunt the runners over. First and second with one away. A run is in. But the Brewers watch their starting shortstop, their all-star shortstop from a year ago, head to the clubhouse. Got Scooter Gennett due up next. Garza trying to put him in scoring position. Gets a bunt down, throw to third, out there. So the Rockies get the lead out. Out number 2, and it'll be first and second for Gennett.
Hey, it's the Brewers and the Phillies Monday, July 7th through Thursday, July 10th, when they meet at Miller Park for the only time in 2014. Reserve your seats today at 414-902-4000 or visit Brewers.com for tickets. And you might see a home run caught out there with the Phillies in town.
Brewers swept the Phillies in Philadelphia. We should do a game from the outfield for that series.
Yeah, they did, and caught a home run ball.
Yeah, maybe we could do that and see if we get a home run ball. Where's your home run spot as you look around the loge level out there in the bleachers? Where do you feel like is the best spot to get one?
Toyota territory.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good spot. I mean, thinking about the best spot that we could actually do a game from.
We could just sit right up there in the SUV.
Yeah, a little bit lower than that maybe.
Oh, okay. Strike 2 on Gennett. Seven to 2 Brewers. Gennett with an infield hit his last time up. Takes one down in the dirt. Got some wind blowing through Miller Park here today. It's been a strange couple of weeks on the weather front here in Milwaukee. A lot of rain last week. Had some rain come through, some heavy rains pouring down this morning. But we got beautiful blue sky up above. Again, it's just an interesting wind here. You don't see this kind of wind coming in from left center very often.
And you really don't know how it affects the flight of the baseball. Just because it's blowing in doesn't mean it's going to knock down anything going to left.
Well, Gennett trying to give one a ride here. Herrera at second base, the pinch runner. Garza at first, and that one's down and in. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So this is going to put the runners in motion. The Brewers sitting there at 18 games over 500, trying to push it to 19 over. Their best record in franchise history after 82 games with those 50 wins. 3-2 on the way. Jeanette fouls it back. Last year, the Brewers did not win their 50th game until August 9th.
Wow.
What a difference a year makes.
Unbelievable, huh?
Yeah, they were 50 and 66 on August 9th. We'll do it again. Another 3-2. Both runners will start. There they go. And there is ball 4. So Jeanette draws the walk. And the bases are loaded.
Yeah, that might be the end of the line for Chacin. You got Braun coming up. He's hit the ball hard every time up. Nick Massett's been getting loose out in the bullpen. And here comes Walt Weiss.
And we will have a pitching change. So Weiss begrudgingly goes to his bullpen. Chacin cannot get through the 6th inning. 7-2 Brewers. And 5 2/3 for Chacin. He's given up 7 so far and 3 out there that are his responsibility. We'll take a timeout.
Change, and Elian Herrera is at third base. He came in as a pinch runner for Gene Segura after he reached on a fielder's choice, and the Brewers PR staff announcing that Segura has left the game with leg cramps. So BA, hopefully it's nothing more serious than that.
That's actually a good news update, and let's hope that is the case, that it is just leg cramps. So Renicky, who has a short bench anyway, is without his shortstop. Nick Bassett is in on the pitching change. He's got Braun to face with the bases loaded. And Braun can make a lot of Renicky's decisions the rest of the game a lot easier with a big at-bat here.
Yeah, Bassett appeared in last night's ball game, a third of an inning. Gave up a run and a base hit. 25th appearance for Bassett and a .380 earned run average. One of 6 right-handers down in that Rockies bullpen.
Well, Ryan Braun can turn a good day into a great day with a base hit here. He has 2 hits. He's driven in 2. He had a triple in the 5th inning. Stretched the lead to 5-0. Colorado scored 2 last inning, or in the top of this inning, I should say. Overbay answered with an RBI earlier. At the plate presented by Wendy's for Braun with those 2 hits. He's the club leader in RBIs now. And Braun breaks his bat. Tulowitzki ranging over, backhanded, long throw in time. So the inning is over. The Brewers strand the bases loaded, but they get one, and it's 7-2.
Is brought to you by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Well, you head to the 7th inning here at Miller Park. 7-2 Brewers, and experience Brewers baseball like a VIP in one of Miller Park's 5 spectacular all-inclusive areas. Enjoy the game in style and exclusive amenities, a full buffet, and complimentary beverages. Tickets start at just $48. Call 414-902-4777 or go to brewers.com/all-in.
So Herrera will take over at short. Segura is out. If you're just picking us up, leg cramps has sent him to the clubhouse here today. The Brewers lead 7-2. Matt Garza still at work. Garza has been able to complete 7 innings in his last 3 starts. He's had a terrific month of June. His ERA in the month of June is 2.38. And he's looking for his 5th win of the year. He's in control, but you don't want to let these hard-hitting Rockies up for air right now. They had the bases loaded last inning. Garza was able to get through it with just 2-run scoring.
Yeah, bases loaded with 3 and 4 hitters coming up and only 1 run across. And they were very fortunate right there. So Matt Garza continues to get himself out of trouble here today.
Willeen Rosario will lead off. He'll be followed by Wheeler and then Josh Rutledge. Brewers up 7-2. They've out-hit Colorado 11-6. Yeah, Rosario takes strike 1. That's something Garza has done a lot of tonight or today. Get ahead of the hitters.
Yep, 17 out of 24 now. Outstanding work. And really doing a lot with his fastball. I mean, that one right down the middle. Rosario taking it. Garza has not walked a batter today, so not hurting himself with the base on balls.
Into shallow center field. That's going to fall. A base hit. He didn't hit it hard, but Rosario will reach, and a base runner to start the 7th inning for Colorado. Their 7th hit. Well, America's new sports network is the place to turn before every slam, every goal, and every game. It's America's pregame on Fox Sports 1, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Tune into America's pregame weekdays 5 p.m. Central only on FS1. And to find Fox Sports 1 on your cable or satellite provider, go to foxsports1.com. Runner at first, nobody out. Here is Ryan Wheeler.
When you think about the 7 hits that Garza's given up, nothing really hit all that hard. I mean, a bunch of jam shots, you know, bloopers into the outfield. That was a jam shot right there, a knuckle buster, and he's thrown well. But you know, the Rockies able to put the bat on the baseball and put it in play.
Yeah, 3 infield hits today for the Rockies. Rob Wooten getting loose here in the 7th inning. Well, you know, Renicky would love to get Garza through 7. Turn it over to the bullpen for the last 2 innings. Garza's pitch count at 92, so he's in good shape. And a foul ball. Wheeler had a good cut. 2 balls and a strike. Two and 2 on Wheeler. It's the first matchup for Garza against Colorado since 2011. So there aren't many in the Colorado batting order that has faced Garza. Stubbs has the most at-bats against him, and much of that came when those two were competing in the National League Central. Stubbs a Red, Garza a Cub. Two and two the count. Rosario at first. In the air, right center field. Another one shallow. Here comes Braun and Gomez, and that ball falls.
Oh, goodness.
And a collision out there. Jeanette has to go get the baseball.
That's the second time that's happened tonight. I can't imagine why those baseballs are dropping like that. Maybe the wind's taking them. Maybe the wind's pushing them away from Ryan. 2 times now the Brewers have let a ball fall like that, and you hope that Gomez is going to be all right here. Playing very deep. Let's see what happens.
Gomez hits the ground hard. Remember, Segura's already out. Herrera's the other outfielder. And Braun comes right across Gomez, and he's shaken up.
And neither one of them came very close. Gomez hits his head.
Yeah, took one right in the jaw.
Well, he hit his head yesterday sliding into second base. Right into the leg of a Rockies defender at second. Then he hits his head against Ryan Braun today.
Gomez still on all fours out there. It's Dave Yeager, Brewers athletic trainer. And you figure he'll probably put him through a concussion test. Anxious times here for Carlos Gomez. This was yesterday now. This was late in the game on a stolen base attempt. His helmet popped off and his head went right into the shin of Rutledge.
Right on the top of the head. You can see it bother him now. He gets it right on his side. Gets Braun right in the side of the arm, up around the shoulder, and gives him a pretty good jolt. You see right away he's grimacing in pain.
I'm trying to figure out what the move would be for Renicky. I would assume Mark Reynolds would have to come in to play right field, which would put Braun in center. Would you do that?
Well, you got to keep Herrera at shortstop. I mean, they're very short right now on the bench. You got one guy that can play short. That's Herrera. He's not going to move. Yeah, you got to put Braun in center.
Dave Yeager is, they're spending a lot of time with Gomez here. I can't imagine that he would stay in the game. He hasn't even been able to get up yet. Finally on his feet. It looks like Renicky is going to make a change. So the Brewers are going to have to get creative here. It's a 7-2 lead, but they're going to have some folks in awkward positions, and a tough break for Carlos Gomez as he goes crashing into Ryan Braun, and he's on his way to the clubhouse. So Reynolds will come into play right. Braun will move to center. And let's hope Gomez is going to be all right. You hope this is not something that is going to knock him out for a few weeks. The Brewers do have Monday off, so might be a good chance to sit Gomez tomorrow. It's a good sign that he's able to walk off under his own power. So Gomez is coming out. Reynolds will get as much time as he needs to loosen up. It won't take much here for Reynolds. Just get a few throws in. He's good to go. They certainly don't want Garza to stand out there any longer. Garza was making a few tosses during that. Well, now it's second and third. Nobody out. No Segura. No Gomez.
Wow.
And Garza is going to have to bear down. He's got Josh Rutledge at the plate. That's always the risk you run when you're playing with a short bench. You have an 8-man bullpen. And on the first pitch, Rutledge pops it up over Bay in foul territory. That is a big out for Garza.
Yeah, on a pitch over his head. And you get a break right there. You got the bottom part of the Rockies order up. Now, Rutledge does a big favor to Matt Garza. Check it out. Watch where it is. Up. I mean, that's shoulder high, and Rutledge behind it, and an easy out in foul territory.
So one gone. Here is LeMahieu. 8th hitter in the lineup. Pitcher spot due up next. And there's a base hit. LeMahieu back up the middle with a single. 2 runs are going to score, and it's 7-4 Milwaukee. LeMahieu wasting no time. His second hit. Well, this one tightens up.
Well, got a fastball in on him, able to muscle it into center field. The type of hits that the Rockies have been able to come up with, amazing. Nothing hit all that hard today. Particularly those 2 bloopers out there into short right field. Those are normally baseballs that are easily caught out there, and not.
And now Rick Kranitz on his way to the mound. I think Kranitz telling Garza just what you're talking about here. Garza fuming mad on the mound. He's given up 9 hits, but not many of those have been squared up by the Rockies.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really hit all that hard. Yeah, they're all singles except for the double by Wheeler, and that was a ball that dropped in. That was a collision between Gomez and Braun.
4 runs all earned in on Garza. He's got a runner at first. Pinch hitter coming up, Brandon Barnes, who's 10 out of 31 as a pinch hitter this year. He has been Walt Weiss's best off the bench. It's Segura who left with an injury, leg cramps, and Gomez just left with an injury. So Herrera is at short, Braun in center, Reynolds in right. And what was a comfortable lead has now been trimmed to 3. Good numbers for Barnes off the bench. He's hit 3 home runs this year. One of those was an inside the park home run against San Francisco.
And Garza continues to pound that fastball. He's thrown a lot of them today. There's some curveballs, second time through the batting order, but it's been predominantly fastball slider. And has had very good location, maybe his best location of the season.
Wooden and Duke in the bullpen. You got a left-hander, Charlie Blackmon, due up next. 1 ball, 1 strike. Still just 1 out, and a bouncing ball foul. Goes to 1-2 on Barnes. Barnes is second in the National League in pinch hits this year with 10. He's actually tied for second in all of baseball. Hitting .323 off the bench.
And not that many pinch hitting opportunities over there in the American League. 10 pinch hits is that's a lot of pinch hits already, not even in July.
Garza looking for a ground ball to turn 2 here. 1-2 the count, and a bouncer foul past third. Barnes jumping on that fastball again. Well, this ball game had a nice easy feel to it going into the 6th. Brewers had a 6-0 lead, but the Rockies put themselves back in a position as Garza strikes out Barnes. Out number 2 for Matt Garza. Picks up his 4th strikeout.
And his pitch up around the shoulders as well. The same pitch that Rutledge popped out on in foul ground. This one up in his zone and blew it right by him.
And that's going to do it for Matt Garza. So 6 2/3 today, and Renicky will bring on the left-hander Duke to face Charlie Blackmon. So Garza will exit. He's got a chance to win here today. Three here as we play in the 7th inning. Got a pitching change with Garza out. Giovanni Gallardo next man up for the Brewers. That'll be the finale of the series and the homestand tomorrow. They'll match up against former Brewer Jorge De La Rosa, another left-handed starter for Colorado. So Gallardo and De La Rosa, Miller Lite, what's on tap? We're on the air at 12:30 tomorrow. Zach Duke out of the Brewers bullpen here in the 7th.
Well, you see his numbers so far this year. 37th appearance for Zach and a 144 earned run average. Duke last pitched on Tuesday against the Nationals and threw 2 scoreless innings. They may see Duke stay out there for a little bit. Ron Rennie doesn't want to go too deep into his bullpen, so he's got a left-hander, hopefully to get the last out in this 7th inning.
Well, keep in mind the Brewers making some changes here. Injuries to Segura and Gomez. Herrera at short. You got Braun in center field with Reynolds in right. So some players out of position, especially in the outfield. And a swing and a miss. Blackmon down in the count. He's been a good hitter this year against lefties. He's hitting .274 against left-handed pitching. Got an infield hit in the 6th. Garza exits with 4 earned runs at this point in 6 2/3. Garza allowing 9 hits, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Runner at first still his responsibility. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs in the inning. 2-1.
And Blackmon, one of those guys, stays on the baseball very well. Doesn't mind left-handers too much. Has that ability to serve that baseball into left field. And to keep it down if you're going to go away from him.
Duke's faced Blackmon. He struck him out. The only at bat. And there's a little handle shot foul, and it's 2-2. So he came right back in there with a fastball.
You get him thinking outside. You get him leaning for that slider. Then you bust him inside tough to get the bat on that baseball.
Two runs in for Colorado. 2 RBI single by LeMahieu. He's at first. Rockies have had back-to-back 2-run innings. 2-2 the count. Sidearm swing and a miss. Down he goes. Zach Duke strikes out Blackman. 7-4 Milwaukee. Stretch time at Miller Park. You buy the all-new Chevy Silverado. Oh, it can't be fun at the old ballpark. Dean Roscoe on the organ, entertaining the masses here. Great crowd on a Saturday afternoon. And the Brewers trying to polish off yet another win against Colorado. It would be their 6th in a row. Carsoup.com trivia: who has the most walk-off hits in a single season for the Brewers since '74? And if you said Ted Simmons, you would be correct.
Yep, the switch-hitting catcher.
4 of them in 1983. Robin Yount had 3 on 2 occasions, 83 and 91. Had a lot of walk-offs that year, huh? Between Simmons and Yount in '83.
Yep.
Good names on that list.
El Caballo, Carlos Lee.
New pitcher Rock Franklin Morales on the mound for Colorado, a lefty out of the bullpen.
Yeah, one of the few guys that the Brewers have not seen yet in this series, either here or in Colorado. Last pitch 5 days ago against the Cardinals. Gave up 3 runs in 2 innings. Overall earned run average almost 6 in 19 appearances. And he's got the middle part of the Brewers batting order to deal with.
Now here's Lucroy now. Lucroy will start it for the Crew. He'll be followed by Gomez, then Ramirez. Lucroy takes a strike. It's going to be interesting to see what Renicky does with his bullpen the rest of the way. If he plays it straight like he normally does, he'll have Will Smith and then K-Rod. And right now Smith is loosening in the bullpen. That answers one major question we had coming into today. Liner to center field, down a base hit. Lucroy with a single.
It's been that kind of day, hasn't it? A lot of base hits today off the end of the bat on the handle. Now the Rockies have had a ton of them, and the Brewers have had their share as well.
3rd hit of the day for Jonathan Lucroy. Well, Mark Reynolds will bat for the first time. We do not have an update from the Brewers clubhouse just yet. Carlos Gomez exited after a collision with Braun in right center. Sophia is on that, and once she knows, you'll know. Gene Segura left the game, Sophia reported, with leg cramps. So the Brewers are digging in deep on their bench right now. Just 2 players available. Reynolds is in the game playing right field.
Maldonado and Weeks, the only 2 available for Ron Renicky.
Got Elian Herrera in the game playing shortstop. There's a bouncer to third. Rutledge to second for 1, and a 5-4-3 double play. So Ramirez will bat with the bases empty. Ramirez singled his last time up, swung away at the first pitch, and singled to left. The Brewers have 12 hits today. In the air, right center field. Stubbs on the run at the track, and he's got it for the out. Side retired. Scoreless 7th for the Brew Crew. We head to the 8th, 7-4 Milwaukee. Inning here at Miller Park, Milwaukee. And our shining moment this afternoon comes from Ryan Braun. It's brought to you by the Marshfield Clinic. Just out of the reach of Blackman. It goes for a triple and 2 runs batted in. Braun with 2 hits today. And at the time it gave the Brewers a 5-0 lead. It has since tightened up. Braun is in center field for the first time in his career in the big leagues after the injuries to Gomez and Segura. Well, Will Smith, we wondered if he might have a down day today, but that is not the case. He is on the mound, he is pitching, and in a setup role here in the 8th.
Yeah, 4 days in a row for Will Smith. 44 appearances. That leads all the big leagues in appearances out of the bullpen. A 1-0 record, a 140 earned run average, and has the meat of the order coming up. 2, 3, 4 coming up for the Rockies.
Now Smith is going to earn 2 well-deserved days off after this one here today. Can't imagine he'd pitch tomorrow, and then the Brewers have a team day off Monday. But he's out there this afternoon to try to get this one to the bottom of the 8th, and the Brewers still in the lead. And again, he has the tough part of the order to deal with. Stubbs, Tulowitzki, and Dickerson. Smith has done most of the heavy lifting out of the bullpen the last few days for the Brewers. He has faced the most dangerous part of the order against Colorado. and has handled him well.
Yeah, Fay came in the 8th inning in last night's ball game, had 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order. A 3-batter inning, gave up a base hit, but got Tulowitzki to ground into a double play.
Yesterday, Smith threw just 7 pitches in his scoreless inning and gave up a hit. 7 pitches, he threw 5 strikes. Was credited with his 20th hold. That means you hold the lead. It's a good stat for non-closing relievers to measure their success. There's a liner to left, and this is going to be extra bases for Drew Stubbs. Davis will play it in. Drew Stubbs with a double, his 3rd hit of the day, and the Rockies, they will not go away.
That fastball down and in, he just turned on it and just smoked it down the line and left. Yeah, tried to get it in there, left it out over the plate just enough for Stubbs to be able to get the big part of the bat on it.
Let's check in with Sophia, an update on Carlos Gomez. What do you have, Sophia?
Well, after leaving the game after that collision with Ryan Braun in the 7th, the Brewers announcing that Carlos Gomez left with a left neck strain, and he is listed as day-to-day. So he is one that could benefit from that off day on Monday and then also on Thursday, BA.
All right, thanks, Sophia. Good update. So Tulowitzki takes ball 1 from Smith. Well, the Rockies have kept the heat on here in the last 3 innings. They scored twice in the 6th, got 2 last inning off Garza in the 7th.
Yeah, they're not the best hitting team in all of baseball for no reason. They up and down in the order, although they do have a number of players on the disabled list. They can still hit. They can hit with the best of them. And the last couple of innings have proven that.
Tulowitzki drove in a run in the 6th inning with a sac fly. He is hitless today. The league's leading hitter averaged down to 348, which sounds a little odd to hear. Down to 348. Came in batting 351. Tulowitzki was at the plate with the bases loaded in the 6th inning. So to get a sac fly out of him was a victory for Garza. 2 balls and a strike. 2-2 the count. Well, shadow's got to be tough right now.
Yeah.
Pitcher is in sunlight, the sun coming in through the panels above the first base grandstand, and then that ball disappears into the shadows as soon as it leaves his hand.
And what you're looking at in your batter's eyes in the shade. So you got a lot going on back there, checking out that pitcher, trying to follow that baseball. The sun right now just the opposite of what it was early in the game. Pitcher was in the shade, hitter was in the sun.
2-2 the count. Smith pitching in his 4th consecutive game. He's been one of the best relievers in the game. Stubbs at second base. Had a leadoff double. Here's the 3-2, and Tulowitzki fouls it away. Fastball at 94. This will give you an idea what the hitter sees.
Yep, it's nice and shiny when it comes out of the hand and then darkens up quickly. to pick up the spin when you have conditions like this, and that's what hitters rely on. You see the spin out of the hand kind of gives you an indication of what the pitch is going to be.
And those split second decisions. Full count, and that one is low and away, and Tulowitzki draws the walk. And the Rockies will bring the tying run to the plate. And a guy who has a little thump in his bat, Corey Dickerson. Rockies had just 2 base runners the first 5 innings. They've had a boatload since. They had 4 men reach base in the 6th inning. Had 3 on in the 7th. Now they have 2 on to start this 8th inning. Well, and you wonder how much Smith has in the tank here.
Yeah, 4 days in a row. He leads all the baseball in appearances, and throwing 94 miles an hour. I'd say has pretty good velocity. And there's a good sign right there, keeping that slider down and away to Dickerson. You got to be careful inside of this guy. He took Zach Duke out of the ballpark in Colorado.
Yeah, he stays right in there against lefties. Smith struck out Dickerson on Thursday in a 1-run game. Struck him out to end the inning. Had the bases loaded. And a pickoff play at second. Close. Stubbs is just back. And the Brewers fortunate that ball didn't end up in center field.
You got to keep him close. And not necessarily looking for the pickoff. Just make them aware that you're keeping an eye on them.
Two on, nobody out. The 0-1 swing and a miss. Another breaking ball, and it's 0-2.
And just make sure you keep it out there. This guy can look bad for a couple of swings, and then you make a mistake on him and he will hurt you in a big way. 2 sliders off the corner to get ahead of him.
Smith needs a big out. Ready for an 0-2. And he got him. Went with a fastball and put it right by him. Dickerson strikes out. First out of the inning.
Yeah, went with the short slider that time. Actually, fastball, my mistake. Catches the outside corner with it and had Dickerson trying to pull it. Good pitch. And a little bit of a cut to it, it looked like.
Perfect spot. Got a power hitter at the plate. Willeen Rosario, and he loves to swing away at the first pitch. Got to be careful. Tying run at the plate for Colorado. And a breaking ball strike. I think Jeanette was looking for a pickoff at second base.
I think so was Rosario, but he threw a first pitch curveball in there. Not sure he's going to swing at that anyway.
Jeanette had broken to the bag at second. Smith came home anyway. 2 on, 1 away. Chased one. No balls, 2 strikes on Rosario. Rosario usually up there hacking. He's bounced into 10 double plays this year as well. Smith would love one of those right now. That would get him out of this mess here in the 8th. Started with a double. Tulowitzki then walked after the Stubbs hit. No balls, 2 strikes.
Trying to keep him off balance. Curveball, fastball. Then he went with a slider. Just don't want to make a mistake inside on this guy. You want to pitch in, get it down, unless you want to throw the fastball up and in. You just don't want to leave that breaking pitch down the middle of the plate.
Now you got another left-handed hitter on deck. No balls, 2 strikes. Smith delivers, and he went. A strikeout for Smith. Nasty breaking ball. Back-to-back Ks. 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, good slider down and in. That's what you want to do with it. Don't give him anything to hit. There's the grip, the rotation. He tries to hold up, couldn't do it. Lucroy boxed it in the dirt.
And instead of Wheeler, the left-handed hitter, Walt Weiss is going to send up Charlie Culberson, a right-handed bat. We'll see if Ron Renicky will allow Smith to stay.
Not often Smith gets taken out in the middle of an inning. But he's got a bunch of right-handers coming up. Keep in mind, Justin Morneau waiting on that bench at some point.
All right, so they're going to let it ride here. Culberson, the tying run. He's hit 1 home run this year, 9 RBIs. 2 on, 2 out. First 2 reach, then back-to-back K. Stubbs takes off. Throw goes to second base. The tag. He's out. Tulowitzki cut down. Lucroy throws to second base. And the inning is over. What a smart play by Lucroy.
Boy, he's just throwing the baseball, hitting the baseball, doing everything at an all-star level right now.
Jonathan Lucroy, no chance at the runner at third, gets the out at second. As we are headed to the bottom of the 8th, or maybe not, we have a challenge in place now. They cleared us to commercial break, meaning the challenge time had ended. You're supposed to have 30 seconds. Walt Weiss did not come out of the dugout in 30 seconds, but this is the play in question now.
Bang, bang. I mean, I'm not sure how long you get to take. I mean, the Rockies are on the field. Morales is throwing warm-up tosses. Will Smith is in the dugout. Now, if they reverse this is a travesty. You can't do that.
Walt Weiss did not come out in the window, the 30-second window, we thought.
Well, you have to come out right away, and then you get 30 seconds.
Right.
I mean, you can't wait around as long as he did and then go out and then ask for a replay. They cleared TV to go to break.
Which usually indicates that the play cannot be challenged. It took Walt Weiss 34 seconds to even come out of the dugout.
Yeah, I can't do that. I mean, I'm amazed that the umpires allowed him to do it.
And they're going to call him out, and we move on here. But that,
they shouldn't even have been able to do that. That's wrong.
And Ron Renicky came out to argue that fact to no avail. But the call stands, and we are still headed to the bottom of the 8th inning. That is a big play in this game.
I mean, how do you let that happen like that? I mean, Walt Weiss sat in that dugout. You had the red card, meaning that you're clear to go to break, meaning no replay, no review. All of a sudden, Walt Weiss comes trickling out of the dugout and asks.
Well, and it's not that we're complaining because we go to commercial. That has nothing to do with it. But you've cleared the field.
The timing of it.
Will Smith is sitting in the dugout now. If he's got to come back out,
that's not right.
Do they let him warm up again? He would have been sitting for 4 minutes or so,
yeah,
3 or 4
at the end of an
minutes.
inning, I mean, Magic has to bust out there very quickly. He's got to make sure that the umpires know that I'm thinking about challenging this. They should not have allowed that challenge like that.
Well, at any rate, the call stands, and we are headed to the bottom of the 8th. So LeMahieu is going to move over to play first base. And Josh Rutledge from third to second. Charlie Culberson will stay in the game to play third.
But how about Jonathan Lucroy, huh? You saw the great jump that Stubbs had going to third base. The trail runner always gets a worse jump than the first guy. And Lucroy throws a strike to second base to end the inning. What more can this guy do? Jonathan Lucroy.
Heck of a play. Tulowitzki was as shocked as anyone the throw came to second base. Well, the Brewers keep their 7-4 lead. Another hold for Will Smith after surrendering back-to-back hits to start the inning. And because Tulowitzki was thrown out at second, that puts Walt Weiss in another pickle because he's got Culberson in the game pinch hitting.
Right.
So he has to stay in. You move around the infield in this situation. It's been a strange game.
Yeah, it has. I mean, this whole replay thing works beautifully, but I mean, you have to really, I mean, at the end of an inning like that, I mean, I thought that the rules were you got to go right out there to say that I'm thinking about making a challenge here. That didn't happen. It wasn't, not even close. I'm not sure what he waited for, because when you saw the play in real speed, you're thinking, oh, they're going to challenge that, but he never came out.
Well, they've said from the beginning it is an imperfect system. It's a work in progress. It's just been put in play this year, and there are a couple of little areas that they are definitely going to have to tweak. I think what really comes into play, though, is for the pitcher, especially a guy like Will Smith. And you make your pitch, you get out of the inning. They cleared it. They cleared the field. You go to the dugout, and now you could end up sitting there for a while. Now you got to get it started back up again.
He might have been going right up into the clubhouse and icing down.
As Davis strikes out for the first out of the 8th inning. Well, right now on FoxSportsWisconsin.com, you can view photos from the Rockies series. You can read James Carlton's game analysis. Plus, you can get complete game coverage of the Bucks draft. We had Jabari Parker throwing out the first pitch today. And read this week's top tweets from Wisconsin area athletes.
I hope he doesn't shoot foul shots like he does first pitches.
You're coming up a little short. Good to have Jabari Parker today. He looked good in the Brewers uniform, and we welcome him to Milwaukee. Lyle Overbay and an RBI single in the 6th inning. Gave the Brewers the 3-run lead, 7-4. This was a 6-0 game going into the 6th inning. Garza had it on cruise control. It looked like this was going to be a walk in the park. It's been anything but. Now, hidden in all of that challenge controversy, at least the timing of it, was A, the play by Lucroy, but B, the job that Will Smith does pitching in his 4th consecutive day, and yet another scoreless inning.
Yeah. The first 2 hitters reached, double walk, and he went to work. Got out of the inning.
Overbay, half swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, and he's out. 2 outs. Back-to-back strikeouts for Morales. That'll bring up Elian Herrera. He'll bat for the first time. He came in a pinch run for Gene Segura. And if you're just picking us up here, a couple of injuries to Segura and Gomez. Segura out with leg cramps, and then the very next inning Gomez leaving with tightness in the neck after a collision with Braun in right center. So Herrera, the switch hitter, batting for the first time. So far Reynolds and Braun have not had to make a play in positions they are not familiar with. Braun is playing center field for the first time in his career, and Reynolds is out in right field. Just his 5th appearance in the outfield of his career.
It'll be more interesting to see what happens tomorrow should neither one of them be able to play.
Well, the Brewers might have to make a move here, as Herrera with a base hit. Elian Herrera singles to left. It's normally his weaker side, right-handed. Got a base knock in his first at bat, and the Brewers extend the inning for Ricky Weeks, who will pinch hit for Smith.
He's been swinging the bat well, Herrera. You mentioned the left side, he's much better, but he's had a couple of base hits from the right side as of late.
Ricky Weeks, 3 hits in the opener on Thursday, had a hit last night. He figures to be back in the starting lineup tomorrow. Got a left-handed starter tomorrow in De La Rosa. Ricky is 8 for 32 at the plate as a pinch hitter. The Brewers will have Frankie Rodriguez for the 9th. Regardless, he's the only one throwing in the bullpen. Weeks pinch hitting for Will Smith. Oh, and 2 the count. K-Rod had a blown save last night, and I'm sure he is chomping at the bit to get back on the mound. Closers have to have short memories.
Yeah. Well, he's got the bottom half of the batting order to deal with, just like he did last night.
Oh, and 2 with 2 outs. Playing in the bottom of the 8th. And Weeks is gone on strikes. So Morales strikes out the side around a single by Herrera. Here comes K-Rod. Save situation coming up. This Brewers Rockies series on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. To the 9th we go, 7-4 Milwaukee. Frankie Rodriguez on the mound to try to save it for the Brew Crew. His major league leading 26 saves on the board. The Columbia St. Mary's save tracker.
Yeah, blew a save, but he picked up a win, his 3rd win. And K-Rod dealing with the bottom half of this Rockies batting order. And that 3-2, 42nd appearance. He's only got 3 blown saves this year and a .240 earned run average.
Charlie Culberson was at the plate when Tulowitzki was caught stealing at second base as the trail runner last inning. Heads up play by Lucroy, who's also chipped in with 3 hits and an RBI today. Oh, 0-2. The Brewers have won 5 in a row from the Rockies this year. They swept them in Colorado last weekend. They've taken the first 2 games in this series and looking for one more.
They're pretty close on that outside corner. The home run that K-Rod allowed yesterday to Rutledge was on a changeup. A 3-2 changeup. Left it up in the strike zone.
Rockies still have Justin Morneau available to hit. Culberson, Rutledge to follow, then LeMahieu. 1-2 the count, and a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Frankie Rodriguez strikes out Culberson.
Yeah, went with a fastball, a 4-seamer, and got plenty of the plate in doing it. That was pretty much down the heart of the plate, middle in maybe. Maybe had Culberson thinking off speed, blew it right by him.
So 1 away. Here is Josh Rutledge now, who's 1 out of 3. Had an infield hit off Garza in the 3rd. Matt Garza is in line for the win here today. It would be his first victory since June 7th. He's been pitching well lately. Couldn't quite get through the 7-inning threshold today. Went 6 2/3. 4 runs all earned. Zach Duke came on, did a great job, got Blackman on a strikeout to end the 7th. And then Will Smith, after the first 2 reached, a couple of punch outs and a caught stealing to end the 8th inning. There's a strike from Rodriguez. 2-1. I don't know who's going to pitch tomorrow. Gallardo, he may pitch till his arm falls off tomorrow. No, the Brewers have some options.
Yeah, they do. They have Figueroa. They got Gorzolani. Wei Chung Wong down in that bullpen. He's dying to pitch.
Strike 2.
But you got to get through this one first.
Yeah, that's right.
This one's not over. Not the way the Rockies can swing the bat.
Colorado with 4 runs on 10 hits today. Two and two the count. K-Rod to Rutledge. Count stays at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Notice he hadn't thrown a changeup. Hadn't thrown a changeup this inning yet.
Rutledge tied the game in the 9th on a changeup yesterday. Just crept one over the fence in left field, setting up Ryan Braun's walk-off single in the bottom of the 9th. We'll do it again, another 2-2. Just got a piece. Fouled it off of Lucroy. Now the Brewers up 5.5 on the St. Louis Cardinals. St. Louis will have to deal with Zach Greinke and the Dodgers tonight. Actually, that game's just underway. Scoreless at Dodger Stadium. Cardinals, Dodgers, Cincinnati will be in San Francisco later tonight. Simon against Kane in that one. Here's another 2-2. Count stays at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, Rutledge a little bit behind that fastball. Just in the back of his mind, he's thinking changeup. Not able to get the bat head out on the fastball. How do you go to it at this point? This will be pitch number 8 coming up.
Well, he's hanging tough. That was right down the middle again with a fastball. Count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it'll be at least a 9-pitch at bat. The Brewers, with a win today, have a chance to push their lead in the division to 6.5 games. That would match their largest with a win and a Cardinals loss. Got him. Finally retires Rutledge on the 9th pitch on a sweeping breaking ball, and back-to-back Ks for K-Rod.
Well, finally gave him something other than the fastball. Threw him a curveball a little bit earlier in the count. He's in swing mode on the heater and got him on the curveball off the plate.
And now they're on their feet. Rockies' last hope, DJ LeMahieu. Strike 1. That one just missed. That was the 15th pitch for Rodriguez. He has 11 strikes in this inning. That's really been the difference in his game. He is on the attack. Morneau would follow. It's a 3-run lead. K-Rod retiring the first 2. Here's the 1-1. And LeMahieu lines one to third. Ramirez makes the play, and that's the ball game. The Brewers win again. 6 in a row against Colorado. And the Brewers have now won 4 consecutive games. A 7-4 final, making a winner out of Matt Garza. Now 5-5. K-Rod picks up his big league leading 27 save. And the Brewers keep it rolling. Win number 51 on the season. The fastest to 51 in the big leagues. Time for Brewers Live. We check in with Craig Cushon and Jerry Augustine. What do you have coming up for us, Craig?
Boy, this turned out to be a wild game. The Brewers built that big lead early, but the battle between these two continues. And you know what? Every battle has been won by Milwaukee, going for the season series sweep tomorrow. Stay with us.